and welcome back to another episode of Cruising Freja. Thanks for coming back in. I want to take this opportunity to thank you all for your feedback on our first attempt of a YouTube channel. The response has been quite overwhelming, and we really appreciate all the wonderful words and also the little pointers to improve what we're doing. But you've definitely given us a reason to keep this YouTube channel going. So my name is Johanna Baxter, and I am the proud owner of the Fleming Yacht 65 together with my husband. We operate the boat ourselves, and we have had ownership of Freja for about 18 months. Most of the time we've been living on board. Since we last saw you guys, we've been spending a fair bit of time in the Whitsundays. There always seems to be a bit of a stop on the way up north. The Whitsundays are a group of islands that tend to hold a lot of social events, and turns into a fairly social time, meeting both old and new friends while you're there. The tides can be pretty strong and pretty big around the Whitsundays, which means that you've got to take care when you anchor, unless you're lucky enough to pick up a mooring. We have been asked to dive a little bit deeper into power management on the boat, so we will touch a bit on that later on in this episode, to go through our house battery, our generator, our inverter, solar panels, etc. So this episode will also hold a fair bit of our scuba diving activity. We did install a Brewer Junior 2 dive compressor on the boat last year, and that's been a really good investment for us, since it allows us to be more flexible when and where to dive. Whenever there's a good opportunity to dive, we can then fill our tanks and we'll be on our way. So let's run through some power management, a bit about our diving, and a bit of day-to-day life on our Fleming 65 Freja. So how about let's get into it. We travelled from Stanley Reef to Horseshoe Bay on Magnetic Island, catching this beautiful sunset along the way. Despite it being a dark night with no moon upon our arrival, anchoring went well. Horseshoe is wide open and well lit from the mast lights and lights on the shore. Magnetic Island, or Maggie as the locals call it, is a wonderful island off Townsville. Most of it is national park. The many walks are great, with undulating landscapes and ocean views. The many beaches are uncrowded with clear water and stunning scenery. Maggie, with its granite boulders, hoop pines, coral reef and picturesque beaches, is food for the soul. The locals hold on to their unhurried way of life dearly, and it's hard for any yachty passing through not to entirely relax within a day or two. Maggie must be one of the easiest places we know of to make new friends, and all with such wonderful life stories. We had to make an unexpected trip into Townsville after my phone wanted to go for a swim, never to be seen again. Oops. However, Townsville Yacht Club were wonderful hosts, and like all towns we visit, it's always enjoyable to explore what's on offer. Also on offer was a quick bottom scrub in the creek at Townsville. Dale often works daily cleaning the bottom of boats without concern for the many crocodiles that presumably inhabit the waterway. He's seen quite a few, but according to him, they're all pretty small. With the weather showing a potential glass off for a few days, we headed early straight for Great Barrier Reef for some diving. Some of the best times we've had on Freja are the days and nights we've been out on the Great Barrier Reef. We're often up at sunrise to make the most of our days. We plan our day and venture out to explore above the surface and below. Once those dive tanks are on our backs and we descend, everything else melts away, and we enter the beauty of the underwater world. Here we marvel and share the love of nature. Being surrounded by coral and marine life is addictive. You keep coming back for more. What else is under there? Museum of Underwater Arts, or MOA as it's also referred to, is the only one of its kind in the Southern Hemisphere. It's a series of artwork at Brewer Reef near Townsville. It was created by underwater sculptor John Decatur Taylor and put in place to inspire and educate the visitors about reef conservation. The main structure is a coral greenhouse. It weighs over 58 tons and is made of cement and steel. In and around the coral greenhouse are 20 reef guardians who are seen propagating coral. It was a very unique experience taking this view in. Fish and marine life are attracted to this structure that has the beginnings of coral growth on it. MOA was completed in 2019. The dive we did took us to about 18 meters depth. It's a popular site for free divers as well as scuba divers. We often get compliments on how well we look after our vessel, but a day that shows a messy cockpit is a sign of a great day on the waters. After a day of diving, snorkeling and fishing, we watch the sunset almost every single evening. It's a nice time to reflect over the day and feel grateful for the journey we have chosen to travel. Then the evening meal is prepared in the galley, and more often than not is freshly caught fish and salad, or fish and veggies. Our mornings start early at sunrise. We almost never set an alarm, only when we prepare for an early start to travel. First up is a good black coffee before some exercise. It can be a workout with free weights in a cockpit, a good walk ashore, or a spin in our kayaks. Then a smoothie bowl before scouting some bommies or fringing reef we want to dive or snorkel. Each dive requires preparation and planning, especially since it's just the two of us and often there are no other boats in sight. We have a 5 kilo ultra anchor with stainless steel chain on our tender. Excessive, you may say, but it means we can anchor near a site we want to dive and snorkel and know that the tender will still be there upon our return. We have even had another 2 tenders tie up to us on the reef since their anchors wouldn't hold in the current and wind chop. Diving has taken our life on board to another level. We share this passion to explore and learn new things, alongside with something that's challenging us a bit. No two dives are the same, not even on the same day and the same site. Visibility, currents, light and of course the marine life constantly shifts and changes. We did a dive a few weeks back on Bait Reef and had a humpback whale come within 15 to 20 meters of us. Its song so powerful our bodies were shaking. My hubby tells me that my eyes was as big as saucers through my mask. Another one for the memory bank. We managed to do 6 dives in 4 days on Brewer Reef. The visibility ranged between 12 to 18 meters each dive. It's a lot to do running a boat. Keeping the hull clean is one of them. Getting a visual check of props, stabilizers and the hull is made a lot easier in our dive gear, and it's an impressive sight seeing your boat from below. Navigating in and out of reefs are always recommended when you have good visuals of the reef and the bommies. Polarized sunglasses is a must. Avionics do not mark out the reef structure in great detail, so caution is always taken. The drone have proven to be not just a great way to take images, but to navigate as well. Freja is a Fleming Yacht 65. She was completed 2019 in Taiwan.
She's hull number 53. She's 21.5 meters overall in length. We draw 1.5 meters, which is great for getting into shallow anchorages. Her narrow entry and ample cockpit are two of the features we love. She's a classic style trawler yacht that gets a lot of attention, both for her performance on the water and for her beautiful timeless design when nestling in between more modern looking vessels in the super yacht marina. She's a beauty. Freja is a reasonable sized motor yacht with an array of systems and a lot of redundancy. We have two or most things on board. Just in refrigeration, we are running our main galley fridge, a wine fridge, a bar fridge upstairs and an ice maker. We have a yacht management system and then the almost constant charges of cameras, phones and laptops, plus lights and so on. She can be power hungry, but that doesn't mean we require a generator 24 hours a day. To be realistic, we run it about 6 to 7 hours a day, and that can depend on a range of factors, such as if we intend to be underway or how much sunshine there is. The alternators on the engine provide a lot of juice when we are running. Through our burning screen, we can check our house battery bank, generator output, all the various batteries' state of charge, control and monitor our AC shore power. This information is another way of accessing the info from the Victron system. Here you can see our generator is running and providing power directly across to our 240 volt loads and also through to our chargers. This morning we are currently on 88% of full. It's a cloudy day today, so we are only gathering 120 to 200 watts from our solar panels. The visual system is great, and I know we both check our state of play for power several times a day. We have opted for one own generator and high performance solar panels on our hardtop. This gives us typically neutral power consumption from 10 to 3 each day. The generator is used in the morning and in the evenings to top back up to 100% or for the luxury of air conditioning or when the oven is on. The house bank is 12 2-volt batteries of 1200 amp hours each. They are wide in series, providing 1200 amp hour house bank at 24 volts. We have the ability to tie our start batteries to other banks if the need arises. So that's how we do our power management on Freja. It is probably not as interesting as the pilot house or the engine room, but hopefully for the people who asked it will provide some insight. So this brings us to an end. We hope you're either on the water or planning to get on the water. It is an amazing way to spend time, and we appreciate truly how lucky we are. I think it's always good to have a plan or a goal, and even if you don't achieve it all and only get part of the way there, it's something to be proud of and happy with. Thanks again for your ongoing support and interest, and until next time, enjoy every day.